start recording and share screen to my now. Yesterday we did see the filter function, the reduce function, and the map function, right? Now we will see how can we use all these three functions, all these three high order functions as a chain. I mean, how can we use all at once? Okay, we will see that today. Now, I'm uh, yeah, my screen is visible, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'm taking the same number array. Okay, I'm taking the same number array. Now, what? Let me go ahead and comment this out. Comment till here. Okay, comment this, and let me run this. Okay. Unexpected end of output. Okay, I need to close something, right? Yes. Commit everything. Mm. It closes here, this closes here, and this closes here. And okay, so let me take this here, then check. Okay. Mm, yeah. Yes. This will I'll comment this out. Then I'll run this. Okay. So what is happening here? What exactly is happening? I mean, how exactly we are getting the output? We are using this, we are using a condition stating that I want the array, a new array to be created where it all the elements, take the elements from numbers array, okay, nums array, and I want to create a new array where all the elements should be greater than 5, and that is what we are getting an output, right? Okay, now what I'm doing here, what I'm using a filter method. Okay, I'm using a filter method. Now i want to I want to go ahead and perform action on this array. I want to perform action on this array. So another mathematical operation I want to perform on this array. So where I want to perform action on all the elements at once. So what function we can use? We can use map function, right? We can use map function. So that is what I'm doing here. Let me copy this, copy, and here, rather than ending the statement, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hit dot, which means, like, I can write it in this way. Okay, here, in order to access any function, order to access any function, we use dot notation, right? So same way, I've used the dot notation. Then I have used map function here. Okay, I have used map function, and the parameter I can name anything. I can name anything in the parameter. Then what I'm doing here, I'm multiplying this newly created array. I'm multiplying it with 3. Okay, now see what happens, and I'm ending the statement here. So it has multiplied on all the elements, right? It has multiplied on all the elements, and it gave us a expected output. Now what I'm going to do here is I want to add each and every array. I want to add each and every element in an array, and I want to print one single output. In order to print one single output, what is a function we use? We use reduce, right? We use reduce. So that is what I have used here. Okay, let me copy and remove this ending statement semicolon, and then place dot here. I mean, use the reduce function here. And for the reduce function, we need two parameters, and you can name anything. You can name it as anything. Then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and write what to say. I'm going to go ahead and add all these elements in an array, all these elements in an array, and print as one output. Print as one output. So I'm going to run this. So this is what we got an output. Okay, is this understood till here? Is this understood till here? It's a continuous topic of yesterday's, but what we are doing is we are combining each and every method into one, so that we can perform action on one particular array, which is a new array that is created. We can perform all our actions at once rather than doing it in multiple lines. We perform action on all at once. Like yesterday, what we did filter in a separate manner, then map in a separate array, and reduce in a separate array. But here, what I'm doing, I'm chaining the methods. I'm chaining methods or functions. I can say functions or methods, where first I filtered this, then I mapped each element and performed the mathematical calculation operation. Then once I got the new output, then I went ahead and added all all at once, and I printed the output. So if I want to multiply, let's say if I want to multiply, then multiplication, and here I need to change it to 1. Now when I run this, so this is what I got. So here what I'm doing, I'm chaining, I mean one after another. I'm using the functions one after another using the dot notation. Using the dot notation, I'm chaining the methods. Is this understood till here? Is it understood? Hello?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great. Now I have a question here. Let's say now I have multiple combinations here. I'm giving multiple combinations. First I use reduce, then from reduce I went to map, then from map I went to sorry, first I went with, sorry, filter. Yeah, first filter, then I used map, then I used reduce. Okay, then second one, map first, then filter second, then comes reduce. Okay, then can I do filter first, then reduce, then comes map. Okay, then same map, sorry, map first, then reduce, yeah, reduce, then comes filter, yeah, filter. Okay, then another way, not filter, sorry, reduce first. Okay, then yeah, then I can use filter or map, anything is fine. Then comes map. Okay, now tell me which all conditions are true in here, which we can perform, and which all conditions we cannot perform. I mean, filter, map, reduce, yes, we can chain this, which we have already done. Filter, then map, then reduce. So this is true, right? This is true. What about this? Can we do map, then filter, then reduce? Can we use map first, then filter, then reduce? Can we do that? Can we chain in that way?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. What about filter, reduce, and map?
Yes.
False.
Yes.
No.
No, it's no. Why no?
Because once you get reduced, how could
Hmm.
it will be mapped next?
Correct. Correct. Once we have used reduce, it will not. This is not an array. This is not at all an array. And mapping, this map function only works on arrays. These functions, these filter, map, reduce, these all functions works on arrays only. So when you have reduced it, which means it will reduce to some data type. It might be number, string, any not strings, yeah, number. It reduces to string data type. Sorry, number data type. Once you have reduced it, you cannot map it. I mean, this is not an array. This is a number data type. This is a number data type. Let me show it to you. Uh, console dot log type of sums. Okay, let me print this. See, it's a number data type. So you cannot uh, perform an what they say map function on a number data type. What is the data type of an object? Sorry, what is the data type of an array?
It's object.
Yes. So this is not an object. 244944 is not an object. It's a number. So you cannot do this. What about this map, reduce, and filter?
Yes, true.
Map, reduce, and filter.
It's not true. It's false.
Yes. Why? Why again it is false?
Because as we discussed that when we use reduce, after that it is a number data type.
Hmm.
After that we will not use for filter as well, because filter, with the help of filter we use array type.
Yes. So you cannot filter this number. How can you filter this number? Let's say if I want to filter, let's say check, I mean filter greater than 5. But we cannot filter it because only in an array we can filter it because we have number of elements, n number of elements. But this is one number and this is not an array. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. So yes, so filter as well. We cannot work on filter function when it has reduced to the number function, number data type. Now tell me what about this one? Is this true or false?
False.
Correct.
False.
So
False.
only these two ways are applicable when you're chaining. These two ways are applicable when you are using all three at once. All three at filter, map, reduce. If you are using, then these are the only ways which you can perform actions. But if you are using two, then fine. Filter, map, okay. Map, reduce, okay. Map, filter, okay. Filter, reduce, okay. Map, reduce, okay. Filter, reduce, okay. But once you have used filter in between or at the starting, then you cannot perform this actions. You cannot perform these actions. Try it. No, it you'll understand. You'll get the logic. Okay, first go with reduce, then try to use map or filter. Then yeah, any other function if you want to use, you can use it. Okay. So okay, so this is the one. Now the next thing I wanted to discuss about was, is this understood till here? Is this understood?
Yes, Ashish, but I have one question,
Uh-huh,
if you
uh.
don't mind, because
Yeah, yeah.
can you please scroll up?
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
sure. Huh.
yes, yeah. In a reduce function, when we do a addition, accumulator plus current value, then
Hmm.
that time we are returning zero value, right? And after that we have changed zero to one. So what is the reason for zero and one?
Uh-huh. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. See, here what I'm doing. What is the operation here? Addition, right?
Accumulator, yes,
Yeah,
addition.
it is a addition. So when we are doing addition, we have to start with zero because when you want to add two numbers, when you want to add multiple, let's say multiple numbers you want to add and you want to get the right result. Okay, if you want to add all these numbers, okay, if you want to add all these numbers and you want to store it in some variable, if you want to store it in some variable, then you cannot use 1 here. I mean, if you use 1, then 1 plus 1 will be 2. And when you
Okay,
add
yes,
all these
value will be changed. Yes, yes,
correct.
yes,
But
got it. And
yes,
but in the multiplication, when we will multiply with zero,
it will be 0.
one, it will, yeah, yeah, it will be zero. And when we multiply with one, then it will become a original value which we want.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. We will not get an unexpected output. We will get an expected output. Because 1 into 1 is 1. There will be no changes in the value when you multiply it. That is the reason I have used 1 here when multiplication
Okay, okay,
was in the
got
sum.
it.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
thank you.
Welcome. Okay, now I have one question here. Hmm. Okay, who all know the OOPS concept in programming? OOPS concepts. Let me do one
Yes,
thing.
I know.
Great. Okay, I'll ask thing. Mm, mm, okay. So what exactly is this? What exactly is this?
We created one object, person object,
Correct.
and there is a key value is name,
Mm,
and it's a value for Ashish.
yes.
Like,
So this is JavaScript object. This is JavaScript object. Now in programming, especially in any programming language which you take which follows OOPS concept, they use dot notation. Oh, not sorry, not dot notation, sorry. Like I can say, how can I say, yeah, my object, if my object is a class name, then this is the this is a object name which we can say. Then we say new my uh, yeah, my object. Hmm. So this is how we create an object in OOPS, right? In programming languages. So
yes, yes,
here OBJ, this is an object when you use OOPS concept. This is not dedicated to one programming language. When in all programming languages you will be creating an object in this way, but this one is specifically known as JavaScript object specifically. So there's a this is a difference when when someone says uh, create a JavaScript object, then this is what you have to create. But when they specifically say कि use oops concept to create an object, then go with this concept, then go with this. And let me tell you one thing here. Let me type here. mm, Programming languages which strictly follow oops concepts. Okay. So if you type in here, see here, these are the ones. Java and C sharp strongly they strongly follow OOPS concepts. Java and C sharp. Okay, if you can read here, Java and C sharp are strictly follow OOPS concept. But when it comes to Python or JavaScript or C++, they follow OOPS concepts, but they can also work without OOPS concepts. We can write programming without using OOPS concepts as well. So there is a difference. There is a slight difference. When you go with Java or C sharp, then yes, you have to know OOPS concepts. You have to learn OOPS concepts. But w- without learning OOPS concepts, also you can survive on Python, C++, and JavaScript. So that is a difference between these programming languages. When you see here, are often cited as language that strictly follow object oriented. Other languages like Python, C++, and JavaScript support OOP, but they are also considered multi-paradigm languages, meaning they allow for other programming styles as well. Which means, in a simpler way, which we can go ahead and we can write our code without following the OOPS concepts as well, like classes, objects, encapsulation, abstraction, and what is polymorphism, inheritance. So these all might not require at times when you go ahead with other languages like JavaScript or Python. Okay, so there's a difference. This is specifically a JavaScript object. This is a OOPS concept object. Okay. Great. So, and yeah, this one task, which we have learned today, there's one task which I will be providing in the notepad. As a, what they say, as a task or a assignment. Yeah, I can say as an assignment. Here, okay, now tell me, what is this? I mean, what is this? This complete in here. What is this?
Array.
Sorry?
Array.
Correct, correct. This is an array, right?
Yes.
Okay, in array, what we have
Array
inside
of
array?
object.
Correct. This is a JavaScript object.
Array
This
of
is a,
object.
yeah, array of objects. Yeah, we have multiple objects created in an array, and that array is stored in this employees variable. Okay, it's stored in employees variable. Now, what here I'm doing is, first I'm going ahead and using the map function, and I'm giving any name. We can give any name. Uh, okay, very good. Yeah, we can name anything in the parameter. Okay, and then what I'm doing here, I'm multiplying the salary. I'm multiplying the salary twice for each employee I'm multiplying it. Then I'm printing the employee name, employee id. Let's see if this prints. Okay, okay, let me do one thing. Let me copy this question. I do have one question here. Let me take this, and yeah, very good. I did it. I can do it. Mm, okay, let me run this. Okay. Now tell me, I have written employee name and employee ID as well. Why it didn't print employee name or employee ID?
Because
Because
return
it is a
employee
string.
salary.
It is a string. Employee I like
Ah,
employee name is in string, so that's why it is not printing.
hmm. Okay. Any other answers?
रिटर्न एक होने के बाद
Yes. Once we
then
use return, then whatever code which we have written after after this return keyword, that is ignored. Now let me comment this. Okay. Let me comment, and let me try to run this.
return name is
It prints. So it is not about the strings which we have used. It is about the return keyword. As we have used return keyword, correct, you are right. As we have used the return keyword, now it didn't print the employee id. Why it didn't print the employee id? Because it stopped here, and it ignored the next line. It ignored the next line. Now when you comment this, now it will print the employee id. So this is the main concept in functions. When you're using the return keyword, the next lines of code, whatever logic you write, whatever code you write, everything is ignored. Once you prepared the dish and once you are out of the kitchen, then you are not entering the kitchen again. So returning is like you're getting the dish outside and serving someone, then you're not going back to the kitchen. So in the same way, when you use return keyword, all the code, whatever the code which you have written after the return keyword is completely ignored. Okay, so the task is, I mean, you just need to practice it. I mean, I'll give the complete thing. Here, what I'm doing, I'm multiplying the employee salary twice. Okay. Then adding zero. I'm adding zero to employee ID. I'm adding zero the employee ID. Okay. So this is a here I've used map function, the same map function here. Here filter where I have checked employee salary greater than 50,000. Okay. And here also same filter. Okay, and also what I have done here. Okay, now tell me what I have done here. I mean, what exactly I have done in this?
filter
And
map
yes, so
return
this is the chaining function. Okay, where first I've used filter, then I've used map function. So this is one of the chaining function. I mean, I've used only two functions here. Now here as well, did I use the chaining function, chaining way, chaining methods?
Yes.
Yes, filter
Yes.
yes
and map. Okay, what I have
And
done
map.
here. employee salary greater than, and I also wanted the name. I also wanted whose salary is greater than 50,000. I also want the name of them. Here same, and here I wanted the department, not the name, but the department of those people. Okay, and here what I did here, I used a reduce method. Okay, here I used a reduce method. Now my small request is, uh, do and try all this code, and also try it in. Oh, I removed it. Huh? Okay, let me think if I can get it back. Mm, yeah, okay. Try all these methods. See if it works for you. I mean, see, in this way you can understand the logic. In this way you can understand the logic. I mean, here I've only used one where exactly the chaining started. Here, yeah, filter and map, then filter and map, then again there is no chaining. Yeah, I haven't performed any chaining methods. So what I request is, perform in this combination: filter map reduce, map filter reduce, and these will not work. Definitely these will not work. So you can try any one of these, any one. I mean, which is a false combination, which is a false chaining combination. Try once, just try once, and see what will be the output. Okay, see what will be the output. And I'll be sharing this code with you in a once the session is completed. I'll be sharing this with you. And this is a real world example. Huh? Why exactly this is a real world example? Because um, you will be having data in your project. It might be here what I have taken an employees table, and I've given all the data in here. But you might have some different data which is stored in an array. it it will definitely, if there are n number of elements and of same, like, let's say if you want to store each and every student's name in a class, in you cannot create, if there are 100 students, you cannot create 100 variables. You 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 need to use an array there. So you'll create one string array, and you'll place all the students name in one string array. Same way, here the data is same for each and every employee: id, name, department, salary, year. It's same for everyone. So what I did, I created an object array. Why I created an object array? Because I wanted the Ashish person's information stored all in one place. And how can I do that? I can use an object. With the object, I mean, how I did for the person, where I've stored all the information related to person in an object. Same way, for Ashish, all the information I created, I stored it in object. And as we have multiple objects, multiple employees in one company, so I stored everything in one array. Rather than creating multiple objects, multiple variables, multiple things, I've stored all in one place. That is an array. Okay, then I performed all these actions. So what I request is, perform these two true what they say combinations, and then any one of the false, and see what will be the output. It will be, I mean, it will be interesting when you work on this. And these methods are greatly used in automation, that is web automation, and in API automation. Greatly used. Okay, so getting familiar with this will really help. Okay, so, and there is one more thing. You also got to know, like, JavaScript, and especially we are talking about JavaScript, right? So we can work without OOPS concepts as well. We can work without OOPS concepts as well. We can work on JavaScript. Okay, that is the main thing. And one more thing I wanted to discuss about was, uh, I hope you remember the scope. We discussed about scope, right? Scope of let and const. Scope of let and const. I mean, it will be a block. Only in the block you can access it. Outside the block you cannot
Yes.
access it. Yeah. But for
Yes.
var, yes, thank you. For var, you can access it outside the block as well. I mean, it is a global. It is known as a global variable. We don't use it much. We don't use it much. But if you come across var, wherever, if they are using var, which means, let's say var a equal to 10. Okay, then I create some block. Let uh, let no, sorry, function function m1. Okay, then I say var a equal to 20. Let's see what happens here. Console.log a. Okay, let me print this. Let me comment this. Printed. Okay, so it printed. So here now, oh sorry, I haven't returned this. I have to return a, a. Now let's see. Mm, okay, still it, but we have let me do one thing. We return. Okay. Now we can also access it from inside function as well. Just a var equal to 20, return a, and a. Okay, fine. I'll check on this. I mean, what we can for var, actually for var, when we use var as a data type for any variable, it is a global scope. I mean, we can use it. We have more scope. We have more scope when it compared to let and const. We will come across this examples. We will definitely come across these examples where we will be using, very rare, but we will be using var data type, where we have to access the data from the global side. What exactly global scope is? When you're now in JavaScript, it will be confusing because you can also create let in this way. You can also create outside the class. Outside the class, you can create let. Now, okay. When it comes to scoping, I will. When we discuss about var, then we will discuss about the scoping as well. Okay. So yeah, that is all for today. I'll be sharing this. I'll be sharing this data with you. Try that true conditions and also true combinations, and also one false combination, and see if it works for you or not. Okay, I mean how exactly it works. Okay, so that is all for today. Tomorrow we will be looking more on this, but for today this is all. Okay,
Okay, thank you, Ashish.
thank you so much. Yeah, anyone has any queries or doubts? Mm,
No, Ashish.
okay,
No, Ashish.
okay, great. So I will be sharing it once the session is completed. I'll be sharing this, this task with everyone. Okay, great. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashish.
Yeah, thank you.